Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Summer Community Organization and Political Education, or SCOPE campaign, played a pivotal role in empowering Southern African Americans to register to vote. In Allendale County, South Carolina, 5 activists known as the Allendale Five were arrested for their efforts.
I didn't realize the importance of what I was doing at that time.
In 1965 and 1966, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference spearheaded the SCOPE project, covering dozens of counties in 6 southern states.
I volunteered to work. After we had students living in our house, then I said, well, I want to work too.
The group focused on voter registration, facing challenges like literacy tests that made it hard for African Americans to register.
It was about 500 of us there that we worked all summer, trying to get people there to register to vote. And I believe in the course of one day, they may have registered 50 people.
They continued organizing peaceful gatherings, marches, and protesting for equality. The Simpson Methodist Church started as a focal point.
Yeah, this is the route that we took, Flat Street, walking down Flat Street, and we would sing, songs like "Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around," or "Keep On Walking," "Keep On Talking," walking, right? And we used to sing this song when we were arrested, that let me tell you, Sheriff Foster, and let me tell you, please, the next time you put us in jail, you can throw away the keys.
Initially, they refused to leave the courthouse after it closed, marking their first encounter with law enforcement.
One of the things that I remember, that I will always remember, they didn't have restrooms. They didn't have restrooms in that building. Now, they may have had them, but we couldn't use them. We couldn't use the restroom, and I had to use the restroom. So they brought me a pail to use in front of everybody, in front of everybody.
The second led them to what Jennings calls the chain gang. They were ready for this one, unlike before.
And after my second time going to jail, then I made a decision, this is it, I'm not going to jail anymore. I knew that at age 16, I did not want to be in jail. No, that wasn't something I wanted. 5
protesters known as the Allendale Five were all indicted, tried, and convicted by an all-white jury. They were sentenced to a year in jail and $100 fines.
Now, more people would have gone to jail that day, but because they were living, their houses was on other people's property, and they were afraid they were going to be evicted or something like that, they ran. When the sheriff said you're under arrest, they ran.
They were later bonded out by the federal government right before the passing of the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
So your dad didn't have to pay that $100?
He didn't have to pay that $100. He didn't have no $100 to pay.
Years later, Jennings continues to advocate for voting rights and remains active in community activism. She has a 30-year career in education, followed by another decade of service within the school district.
And then I became chairman of the Allendale County Democratic Party, and this would be my 14th year as chairman of the Allendale County Democratic Party.
The Allendale Five was recognized years later by lawmakers at the South Carolina State House and an exhibit at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Jennings stressed the importance of community unity during the Civil Rights Movement, and they want the same for today.
Join the NAACP, work in your church, encourage the members in your church to register to vote, encourage your friends to register to vote. Yeah, that's what I tell them now, but talking is one thing, but doing it is another.